Okay, in this video, we're going to start setting up the actual guts of our store. Okay, so to do that, we need to install the plugin called Easy Digital Downloads. Okay, so this is a free plugin. It's just right in the WordPress Codex. So here it is here. Let's install. And click OK. Let's activate. Okay, so here we are. We're at the intro stage here. Now, the first thing we need to do, let's go over to Downloads here. And what we want to do is set up our categories. Okay, so we're going to do our first category. So let's call it WordPress tutorials. Okay, slug, it'll create its own slug called WordPress-tutorials, but you can assign one if you want. If there's a parent category, so you could have WordPress tutorials, and then you could have how to about plugins, about themes, about etc. underneath there if you wanted to use a tree of categories. So let's just add that one. Okay, and then the next one we'll call YouTube tutorials. Okay, so just put a few in here that you know you're going to use, and you can add these as we go later on. And fitness, ebooks. Okay, we'll start with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go to add new. Okay, so this is where we can set up our downloads. Okay, so of course you're going to need to have your files already and some description here. Okay, so let's put in our title here. Okay, so how to create video squeeze pages using YouTube videos. And then you would put some description in down here. Okay, so then we put our description in here. Now, down on the right-hand side here, you'll see here's our categories. So we've already put in a YouTube tutorial, and you can just select multiple categories. You can also add a category if you don't have one set up yet. Okay, so what we want to do is set our price now. So let's say 5.99. You can enable variable pricing. Okay, and then you can put the different variables in that you want to change the pricing for. So this would be something like shirt sizes and so on. Okay, so you can use that if you are going to do that. Now with defaults, you will upload the file, or you could put in a file URL and you add the file. If it's going to be a bundle, then you will select a list of different products to put in the bundle. We'll get to that in a sec. Okay, so now let's go upload our file. Now you can either, like it says here, you can upload it or you can put in the file URL. And so let's upload. And then we can select the files or we can drop it right into here. So I'm just going to drop one in here. Okay, so here's the zip file I'm going to upload. So let's just grab it, pull it up into here. Okay, and you can see now that it's uploading it to our site here. Now, you'll see that it is putting it in as a media file. Now, normally this wouldn't be a good thing because people would just be able to go to the directory and download it, but not in this case. There's actually built-in protection here, so it just won't let anybody just go into the media files area and start downloading. It just won't work. Okay, so it actually has file protection built in as long as some other things. Okay, so now here you could put the title. So this is squeeze page from YouTube. Okay, and then let's insert into post. Now, when we insert into post, what that means is it just puts it here. Okay. Okay, now you can have some downloads here. Now these are special instructions for the product. So you could say things here like video is an MP4 in MP4 format, and whatever else you want to say there. You can put an excerpt in. Okay, so these are used in your theme. You can put them along the sidebar if you want. And then we have the all-in-one SEO pack over here. So let's go to robots, no index, and no follow, no ODF, no YDR. Now over here are download settings. So how many are downloads are they allowed? So let's say 2. And disable the automatic output of the purchase button. So this is gonna, if you click that, the purchase button isn't gonna show up. Here you can put in the download tags. So these are tags just for this product. So YouTube. Let's add. Okay, down here you can put in a featured image if you want. Okay, so that's all we need here. Let's publish. Okay, and then up here, we can get rid of this thing by just answering it. If we're going to allow it to send some data to it, I'm going to say do not allow. Okay, so let's go and view the download here. And here it is, and there's the payment button. Now we haven't set up our payment stuff yet. Now you see here we have checkout, and it's created these pages automatically. And this is one of the reasons that we put in the hide post plugin. Okay, so let's go back. Dashboard. Let's go to pages and all pages. Okay, so let's go to purchase confirmation. We're going to go to edit. And then we're going to go down to page visibility, and we're going to hide it and not allow it in the search engines. Okay, let's update. Okay, now one other thing. You see it has allow trapbacks in here. We're not going to want that. Now you can turn that off site-wide in the settings. I left that turned on in case you want to allow comments within each product. But if you go into settings and then you go to discussion, a little sidetracked here, but then you can just turn off attempt to notify any blogs, allow link notifications, allow people to post comments. Just turn all 3 of those off, and then you won't have to set it on every post. Leave the one about the comments out if you want to be able to have people post comments on each product. Okay, so let's go back to pages again and continue where we were there. Okay, so purchase history. Now let's just go back and see which ones we're showing here. So we have purchase history and transaction failed. So back here. So purchase history. Okay, we'll turn that off. It's showing still because the page was created while we still hadn't turned that off yet. Okay, so we'll make it invisible. And then transaction failed. Okay, so these pages show automatically and update. Okay, now almost everything's set up. I showed you how to put in a product, how to set up your categories. We've now hidden everything here except for checkout. We don't want to actually hide checkout. So when you actually purchase a product, you can go to checkout. Okay, so let's go back here. And we're going to go back down to downloads. And now we need to go to settings. And there's a few things to set out here. So while in test mode, no live transactions are processed. So let's put it in test mode. Should test it out first. Checkout page is checkout. Okay. So those are the pages we just saw there. Success page is purchase confirmation. Failed is transaction failed pages. Created these for us. You can set up your currency. Okay, so here's the different currencies. Where the sign's going to be, so it's in front. And the comma here. The symbol is usually in between. So thousands and the decimal separator. So it gives you some good choices there. There's some good options. Okay, allow user keys. We're not going to be using that. Tracking settings. Okay, this is so that the program can send anonymous users information and remove data on uninstall. So if you uninstall it, it'll just remove the data. Okay, so let's save the changes because we put it into test mode here. Okay, now our payment gateways. The default payment gateway is going to be a PayPal standard and test payments. Now, if you set it to PayPal standard while in test mode, then you're going to have to set up the PayPal sandbox. So I'm just going to use the test payments here. If you know how to use the PayPal sandbox, then you can go ahead and put in all the information for that. Okay, so I'm just going to go to test payment here. Okay, now after we turn it off test mode, we're going to set this back to PayPal standard. We're going to set this back to PayPal standard. Okay, and then what you take here for payments. So those are display icons. Here you need to put in your PayPal settings. So your PayPal email, page style. This is in the PayPal options where you can set your page styles. And if you want to disable the IPN verification, you're going to want to leave that on unless you have a problem. What it does is it uses PayPal's instant payment notification to make sure that the transactions are valid that are going through. So set all that up accordingly. And then you'll save the changes. Okay, next we have emails. Now, it's fairly simple to use this. You have either the default template or you can use just plain text. You can preview the purchase receipt and send a test email to make sure it's working. Who it's from here. The email address is coming from. The purchase email subject, so this is going to be the subject of the receipt. And the purchase receipt. Okay, so this is going out to the customer. you can modify all this, and these are the tags in here. So here's the download list, the site name, and the person's name. So you can change this as you like, and these are the tags you can use inside there. This is for a new sale notification to the site admin. So you can change this, or you can turn it off down here. So if you don't want to see it, you can check this box if you don't want to receive these. And then here, sale notifications. So you can put as many email addresses in here as you want for sale notifications. So let's save the changes there. Okay, next we have styles. Okay, so this is for our buttons here. So you can disable all included styles and buttons. If we can change the buttons or to plain text if we want to use plain text. And then here we can set the color that we want. So, well, let's go with blue. Save the changes. Okay, next we have taxes. Okay, and this program has a useful tax matrix where you can set national and provincial or state taxes. Okay, so it's just a tax matrix you set up down here, whether you exclude or include the tax and the price and so on. So it's a very easy to use and powerful tax matrix. So to enable it, you need to check this box. Then we have a few options at the end here that you can use if you like. So you can change any of these here. There's several different things that you can put in here, including an agreement to your terms. Okay, so you can put your terms of sale down here as well. The purchase text and the add to cart text, so you can change those as well. Okay, we're going to come back to this in the next video after we do a few more things.